Hello and welcome. So we are group 3 and we chose randomized control trials for our assignment topic. We came up with an example of ARCT, which I will take you through in this presentation. Our proposed study's objective would be to determine whether consistency of food has an impact on the time it takes for serum glucose levels to rise in diabetic patients. The design would be single-blinded randomized control trial spanning 4 months. The setting would be 4 hospital-based diabetic clinics in Canada. In terms of participants, there would be 400 volunteers who are living with diabetes and don't have any other dietary restrictions or diagnoses that impact digestion, such as ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, or Crohn's disease. Recruiting would take place through the 4 hospital-based diabetic clinics. So essentially, individuals would already need to be patients of those clinics to become a participant in our study. In terms of intervention, so twice weekly, participants have an in-person appointment where either of the below take place. Group 1 is served fruit containing a variety of fruit that is washed and chopped but not otherwise manipulated. And Group 2 is served a fruit smoothie containing the exact same fruit as Group 1. However, this time it's been blended until a liquid consistency. So essentially, they get a fruit smoothie. The main outcome measures. So serum glucose levels are measured by clinic staff before administering the intervention and then at 10, 20, 30, and 40 minutes post-intervention. So why ARCT? The proposed study is appropriate for ARCT because 2 variables are being compared and analyzed to determine which treatment or intervention is best. The results will answer patient questions and potentially improve treatment and management of blood glucose in participants with diabetes. If this research was used in national guidelines, an RCT would likely be required as they are the gold standard for testing new treatments. It is ethically sound, and the outcomes are predicted to benefit participants by determining which way to consume food is best for controlling blood glucose. There is no way for the study to be double-blind since participants will know which intervention they receive when they're presented with either a smoothie or fresh fruit. But the single blind can be maintained as the researcher will not see what is consumed. In order to achieve accurate and valid results, a RCT is required so that extraneous variables do not affect those results. So validity is ensured by randomly dividing participants into the control and treatment groups, maintaining the single blind to avoid bias, and controlling other variables, such as step checking the blood glucose up to 5 minutes before administering the intervention, using the same equipment across all 4 clinics, monitoring when the patients last ate prior to coming to the clinic, noting if they are type 1 or type 2 diabetes, and if they are insulin dependent or not. If these measures were not taken, then findings may not be accurate and the results could be from an extraneous variable, not the treatment being studied. So for example, if patients checked their own blood glucose and they checked outside of that 5-minute timeline, or perhaps using different glucometers would skew the results. Having an adequate sample size is important for accurate results. Therefore, an N of 400 across different clinics and provinces is acceptable. As you can see, the clinics participating in the study are located in large city centers as well as some rural areas. This makes the study stronger than perhaps the exact same study being conducted at 4 clinics within the same urban city center. The participants in the study are already patients of these diabetics clinics, and using software to randomly assign participants as a way of avoiding bias is a strength of the study as well. The proposed trial in the study of blood sugar possesses some difficulties, particularly regarding diligence and how the trials are conducted. As mentioned, there are stringent inclusions and exclusion criteria needed for participants in order to account for the controlled group. While using 4 different clinics will allow for a greater sample size to select from, there will need to be consistency amongst the researchers on evaluating and controlling for other factors that may impact the study. If criteria such as socioeconomic background, ethnic background, medications taken, and nutrition outside of the trial are not considered, there may be difficulties in applying the findings to a broader population. The internal mechanism of study design may be considered a weakness as well. There may be some design flaws, such as the way that the blood sugar is measured, type of fruit used in the smoothie or fruit salad, or inconsistencies in the timing of blood sugars taken, and how long it has been since the participants last ate, which may certainly alter the findings. By controlling these internal mechanisms, the biases and skewing of data results can be minimized. So that's our short example of an RCT or a proposed RCT. And hopefully that kind of broadened your understanding of RCTs in general. Here are our references, and we look forward to learning with you all this week.